Ducktales, 20 years later. Episode 10. Behold, the majesty of the Kahn building, Bombay, India. A tall, classic monster of steel and concrete, built as the financial center of the former Kahn Industries before being absorbed by McDuck Enterprises. With its spinning discs of the stock exchange, tall enough to look over the glittering city, the Kahn building stood as a landmark to one of India's greatest businessmen, CEO of Kahn Industries, Shere Kahn. In the large, generous penthouse office of the 100th floor, Vered Kagan sat with his back to the window, filling in a bit of paperwork to prepare for the hectic weekend ahead. He took a curious glance towards the simple, modern clock on the wall, and hastened slightly. He finished the page he was on in record time, placed it gently on the outgoing stack, content with a job well done. With business finished, the tiger began to primp a bit, making sure his tie was on straight and his fur unruffled. Soon, he was the shining vision of a sleek businessman who could do no wrong. With one more glance at the clock, he nodded, ready. There was a small commotion in his waiting room, beyond the large double doors. Soon, a rattling commenced, where the walls in Hindi swung his high-strung secretary, but they were ignored by whatever it was rattling the door. Bang! With a scream of the secretary, the door was kicked open hard, revealing on the other side 3 ducks, each dressed as janitors and holding mops and brooms as dangerous weapons. The secretary followed quickly as he entered, screaming at them that they were not allowed in there. In his native language, Vered politely indicated the woman should calm down and take her lunch break. Without another word, the woman looked nervously from her boss to the 3 odd strangers. Without another word, she bowed slightly, and then bustled out the doors, closing them behind her.
Well, a rather inconspicuous entrance for the CEO of a multinational corporation.
Vered stood, walking over to his liquor cabinet with an easy stride, before opening it and pouring out 4 glasses of amber liquid from a crystal decanter. Dewey nodded as the 3 ducks said to disguises, "Sorry about that, but everyone thinks I did that thing over in Duckburg. Can't afford to be seen. You'd be amazed where a guy could go when he looks like a janitor,"
Of course,
said Vered, smiling faintly, as he passed the tray of drinks among the 3 brothers.
What did you want to speak with me about?
All 3 boys took the drinks, never once to pass on free refreshments and began to drink. Vered took his own glass and nursed it, slipping the tray under his elbow in a single motion. After downing his at one, Dewey breathed out, "Thanks, Vered, and you're a lifesaver."
In our business?
"Yes, I need your help." Dewey walked up to Vered's desk and sat in a small chair in front of it. "We've been running from the authorities ever since we left Brazil. I don't understand why. You're the closest thing I have to a friend within McDuck Enterprises.
I see.
Is there anything you could do? Do you have anywhere we could go, or anything we could use to clear my name?" Dewey leaned back. "Anything at all you could do would be appreciated."
Yes, of course. Well, Dewey Jack.
He walked back around his desk, sat in the high-backed swiveling chair.
I'm going to tell you exactly what I can do for you.
"Yes?"
I can run the company in your absence.
"Oh," Dewey said, slightly dejected. "Well, that's good. It'll be good to come back to a tight ship, but we're really in a tough situation here, and—"
I don't think you can understand.
said Vered.
I'm going to be running the company in your absence, from now until indefinitely. You're not a criminal now, after all. You can leave everything to me. Good day."
He looked down at a file on the desk. Yeah, I suppose." Dewey's eyebrows began to bend in worry. This was not going well. Huey and Louie were beginning to look at each other and sweat a bit. "But, Vered—"
Oh, you're still here?
The voice was suddenly cold and withdrawn.
I thought I had bade farewell.
"Now look here, Vered," Dewey began to say, with a streak of irritability. "I'm still CEO of this company. Just because I've taken an extended leave due to an unforeseen circumstance doesn't mean—"
Why, Mr. Duck, I do believe it means exactly that.
He returned that faint smile that curled up his striped cheek like a spiral.
The Fords voted just this morning to let you go.
"Let me—" "What?" Dewey shot off, his face red, slamming his hands on the desk. "You double-crosser! You can't do this to me, not after what I've done.
And what have you done?
Mr. Duck.
You found a gold mine. Lovely. Add another one to the pile. A drop in the bucket compared to what your uncle made with his bare hands. You have spun your wheels for 2 years since your brother left, and no actual growth has occurred at your hands. Criminal record notwithstanding, you were an extraordinarily bad CEO.
What?
Now that the Duckburg incident has come up, you have been discredited once and for all. A sham, a fraud, a mere babe who has had his entire fortune handed to him on a plate, with no idea of what to do with it. Well, no more. Now I shall be in charge. I will take your uncle's company and operate things my way. I've had my eye on your job for quite a while, Mr. Duck.
You bastard! That mine.
What?
He then pressed the button on the intercom.
Please escort my guest outside, if you please.
He then turned his back towards the file on his desk.
Good day.
You know, if Tony J were alive, I would so love this character to be voiced by him. The Green Phantom spoke up, finally having an excuse to say, "You'll never get away with this!" Ferret King rolled his eyes at the line and looked back towards the Phantom.
My men will take you to prison, which will turn you over to SHUS and the International Police, where you will be tried with crimes against humanity. I can ask you whatever you mean.
Just then the door slammed open. All three ducks, Huey in his ruffled leather jacket and red t-shirt, Dewey with his powder blue jacket and no tie, and Louie in his Green Phantom costume, sans cape, jumped to attention, ready to fight whoever opened the door. To Dewey's surprise, he recognized them. No! The three security guards, with days of stubble upon their cheeks and blue upon their uniforms, stood Boner Beagle, Ballast Beagle, and Brain Case. "What's you want us to do with him, boss?" asked Brain Case.
Take them to the appropriate authorities.
"Right!" all three beagles cried. They bore down the three ducks. However, they soon began to back away as they saw the expression on the boys' faces. Hatred, betrayal, anger, all these emotions and more stood clear upon Huey, Dewey, and Louie's blushing purple. Their heads moved from one beagle to the next, with clear intent to kill. All three of them were lost in a long-standing urge to protect their uncle's fortune from interlopers, as well as the blinding realization they had been played for suckers. As the beagle boys backed away, all three looked over their shoulder and began to speak in a habit they had tried their best to unlearn in their teenage years. "It was you that ordered the seeds on Duckburg!" advanced Louie, calm, even in the face of three stellar examples of the unflappable rage of the Duck family, combined with the money-fueled indignation of a true McDuck. Ferret sat at his desk and answered with a smile. Yelled all three boys as they, as one, lunged at Ferret, who did not flinch. Three beagle boys finally snapped out of their terrified stupor and tried to hold down the three ducks. Boner held Louie in a half-Nelson hold, flailing wildly, trying to break away. The beagle was sweating as the hero thrashed about in his arms. His lower torso and the family jewels were securely protected now by no less than 3 cups. But the many kicks that were issued to the groin and legs were no picnic. Soon, however, Louie was able to use both his legs and a quick swing to drive both his feet into Boner's stomach, causing him to bend over while the ground. He now had the leverage to flip Boner over his head and send him roughly to Fagin's desk, making it roughly in half. Huey had been accosted by Ballast Beagle, who grabbed him by the wrist and did not let go, no matter how much Huey punched him in the gut, the chest and arms, and the face with his other hand. Ballast seemed to shrug off most of the blows, although he began to cry slightly when the blood started rushing out of a broken nose. He tried to pull Huey towards him to pick himself up, but Huey used the large beagle's weight against him by grasping the pulling arm with both hands and pulling himself up, sending the beagle falling forward, screaming, before he slid to the floor, its opponent down, and still seeing red. Huey began to jump up and down on the crying beagle, who yelled for a rage-filled duck to stop. Dewey had been held by gunpoint by Bright Case. was a very smart move on Braincase's part, as his hand trembled in fear at the stories that his father and grandfathers told him about these times, when the duck's rage would boil over and everything would lose control. It happened in the days of the very first Beagle boys under Blackheart Beagle against the young Scrooge McDuck. It happened in the later days versus Scrooge's sailor student nephew. It was happening now, against the last bits of the clan. Taking careful aim, Braincase was shaking hands, pointing the gun towards the slowly approaching blue-clad duck, before pulling the trigger. Before he could, however, Dewey simply grasped his hands and moved the gun upwards, causing it to be fired into the ceiling. Soon Braincase found the gun, wrenched from his hands, and, soon after, the butt of the gun slamming into his face repeatedly. Each Beagle taken care of, each of the nephews, unconsciously acting as a single unit again after all these years, turned to face down Carrot Kagan. They saw, behind the ruined desk, of the spinning chair backwards, jumping up and around the desk, while he spun the chair revealed nothing but a rapidly closing trapdoor. All three swore wildly. "What now?" asked Dewey, the red haze over his eyes lowering slightly. "Follow him! He'll get away!" yelled Dewey. The three boys began to run towards the double doors, and opened them roughly. Behind them was a huge team of additional Beagle boys and security guard drag. "Stop! In the name of the— Ah! He's got my leg! Oh God, he's biting me! Ducks don't have teeth! How can he bite? Mommy!" "Go! Run! Go on without me! I'm already dead! No! We can't leave you behind! Ah! Is that mine? Why is it all the way over there?" After taking a few seconds to work their way through the Beagles, Louie led his brothers to the elevator. The strong figures of the three ducks prized the doors open, lying to access the car, once they entered, closing the doors with a snarl before trying to figure out what number to punch. "Where do you think he went?" asked Huey. Dewey studied the numbers, before coming to the conclusion that the bottom floor was a safe bet. However, the elevator did not move as he pushed the button. The lights came off, and the red emergency light came on. Louis snarled, "They've cut the power! Fine!" All three ducks, using a handy set of extendable metal tools from Louis' utility belt that were never meant to work as crowbars. The boys worked furiously on the ceiling of the dead elevator, leaving a gaping hole in the emergency trapdoor. The three boys were soon out of the car, crawling onto top, with the slightest amount of space between the top of the car and the top of the ceiling of machinery, for they all in turn grabbed a hold of the like steel cables holding the lifts up, climbed down slightly, or jumping once again onto the steel cables hanging underneath the elevator they were just on. So, using the same metal tools, the boys began to slide, very carefully and quickly, down the steel cable of the dead elevator, taking them forward by tens per minute. Soon, with all their ears popping from the change in altitude, the three boys were facing onto the first floor. Within the hallway, the first floor was having a normal day at the office before the doors of the elevator blew open violently. The three ducks, breathing hard for their first trip, but still red-faced and red veils, ran on the emergency exit, setting out the loud alarm. However, they heard the helicopter before they could see it. Ferret's private ride was lifting up into the sky already, the tiger waving from his seat on the side passenger seat. Swearing loudly, Dewey yelled, "What are we doing now?" "Sea Duck!" yelled Huey. "We'll ram him!" However, Louie was coming down from his wrath high. "Wait, no, we need to think about this." "Think about it?" cried Dewey, grabbing the hero by the costume, shaking violently. "He robbed me! He robbed my family! Robbers do not get off lightly in my family!" "I know that, you idiot!" cried the Green Frown, grabbing Dewey's hands and pulling him off. "But if he tries to kill him now, we'll never get the company back! Got it?" Huey began to line up a counter-argument. I couldn't come up with anything convincing. He's right, Dewey. Come on." The three of them then climbed down the stairs, leading from the fire escape to the helipad Harry had just left off from, and ran across it to the chain-link fence, and cut it off from the city street, climbing up and over it, hauling it to the puttering car beyond, and hoping to put enough distance between the building and them to get the cops off their trail. Back in the plane, safe, Huey piloted. Louis sat in complete silence. Dewey laid across two seats with his head in Abigail's lap, quietly moaning. "There, there, Dewey," she cooed softly. "It's all right. Don't let it get you upset. But he's got me. He got me. He's got me. He'll have everything. The company, the revenue, my gold mine. He's going to get away with everything. He's one goddamn it." "Shh, Dewey. It isn't over. It can't be over. Without that mine, I'll I'll never be able to. I'm sorry, Uncle Scrooge. I'm a failure. Another failure. He beat the sides of his face with his fists, writhing around Webby's lap. I'll never. I can't. Louis was about to stand up and begin speaking, but he was pacified by a stern glance from Webby. She looked back down towards the mental breakdown on her lap, and laid her hands on either side of his head. She lowered her own head down on top of Dewey's, began to whisper, Dewey Duck, stop. His beak craned up to place his own hands over hers. Dewey, she continued, listen to me carefully. Are you listening? He nodded. Dewey, I want you to know that you're going to get your mind back. Uh-huh. Yes, that mine is not Mr. Kagan's. It's yours. You didn't see it's Duckburg. He did. Uh-huh. You gotta find a way to get him back. Us. Together. Miss Vandercrack? Webby? Webby? Yes, Webby? Repeat that back to me. We're gonna get my mind back. That's right. We're gonna get it back together. Gripped Webby's hands around his face harder, causing her to smile. That's right. Louis looked down on the scene, the two ducks covering each other. So close, yet with his brother still off in another world, looking for the pot at the other end of the rainbow. Mr. Kagan, 1 minute.
Thank you.
The last layer of orange and black touch-up was applied to his handsome face, as he stood and walked out of the private dressing room. As he traveled through the hall, his tie was straightened by one man, his pants touched up by another, a jacket dusted off by a third. The ace dispersed as he neared the stage, the red curtain behind, beyond which sat the most influential pens and cameras in the round world. With one final sigh of contentment, Ferret stepped out into the stage with a thunder of applause and the bright flashes of photography. He walked briskly to the podium, smiled warmly, waving to the press, displaying all the cool suaveness of his late uncle. But look, with much more warmth than the old man ever showed. You know, that would actually be an interesting fight. Shere Khan versus Scrooge McDuck. As he arrived at the podium, he began to deliver a speech to the American people, with a similarity translated into every language available for broadcasting in television and radio.
My friends, today is a dark day for the memory of Scrooge McDuck.
I'm sorry, everyone, said Dewey, as Huey and GP sat around the passenger seats, autopilot engaged. I lost my head there. It's all right, Huey said diplomatically. It happens to the best of us. Still, said Savannah, what now? We have to win, but Farrah Kagan has us locked out. There has to be a way, said Huey. We can't give up. Lee crossed his arms and looked towards Dewey. I hate to say it, but I think it's your call. Me? Yes, you. You're the one with the most to lose here. What happens next? Huey, GP, and Webby all stared at Dewey as he thought. He didn't hesitate to wonder if he was the right man to lead the others. He merely paused to give the matter some thought. We lay low. We hide. Somehow we've got to find evidence of Ferret's involvement with Duckburg. And St. Canard. Remember, McDuck Enterprises has been laundering money through the underworld. I'll just bet that was Ferret Kagan's doing. Dewey nodded. We can't do it ourselves. We're too well known. He turned to the green fam. Still on good terms with Darkwing? See no more, Dewey. I'll get right on it. Thanks, fam. As though we work together, we can find a way to trap them.
The founder of our company, the tycoon of 1,000 industries, Scrooge McDuck, has attained a new disgrace earlier this week. His 3 nephews, Huey, a known draft dodger with obvious red sentiment, Dewey, the reclusive former CEO of McDuck, and Louis Duck, a carefree layabout, have ordered a siege on Duckburg, hiring a mob of their uncle's very worst enemies, the Beagle Boys, to sack the town. Built up by their own uncle with his famous bin in the business of the center of commerce, Duckburg had become a symbol of McDuck's success, and thus a symbol of scorn for the 3 boys. I felt they would never be able to live up to their uncle's legacy. Their ruthless attack shows us the depths which even the formerly good people can sink, and how men tried to the core may sink even lower. My name is Ferret Kagan. Some of you may know me, and some may have meeting me here for the first time. I've come to you today as an ambassador of the company to try to extend our most severe apology for the terrorist actions of our former CEO. I also want to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born the nephew of the great Indian businessman Shere Khan. And even though I had his great inheritance to look forward to, I never stopped working for my place in the world. I joined and congregated to Kahn Industries and made Duck Enterprise on a humble stock clerk, and quickly rose through the ranks of the offices in Bombay, until the moment you see here today. With the board's approval effective immediately, I hereby take control of McDuck Enterprises as the CEO. Let me say it is a great honor to now be leading a company that my own uncle's company is at least a part of.
No doubt all our accounts are frozen, lamented Dewey. 1/3 of $100 gone just like that. His face lit up slowly. What about Louis? Green Van Circus said. No, his would be frozen as well. How do you know?
I just talked to him on my wrist communicator.
He uncovered his wrist, revealing only his bare white arm.
I mean, my belt communicator.
He pointed towards his belt. You have a belt communicator? Dewey began, his face going wide. He never let me use it to make cheap calls.
Well, Louis grabbed. It just ran out of batteries after Louis called. Sorry.
Oh, that's just great. Dewey leaned back and waved his arms about. No more money, no more where to go. Few friends, we're in great shape. Dewey laughed merrily.
You didn't ask if I had money.
The two boys looked at their remaining brother. Both said at the same time,
You do? Of course. I had just as much money as you guys did.
He began to ruffle through his pockets as he spoke. Leslie idly wondered if it was really safe for him to be not driving the plane right now.
Of course, my main account was frozen when I skipped the country, but I planned ahead. Take this.
Dewey took the small slip of paper and reading it. A seemingly random string of numbers and letters, but in a sort of familiar lengthened pattern. Louis was the first to make the connection.
This isn't the code to a Swiss bank account.
Huey laughed again.
Take all the money you need. It's for a good cause.
Dewey looked at the number. His plan suddenly unfolded in his head.
Bahia. What about it?
We go there, lay low. We stay with Jose and the girls until we figure out where to go from there. He took a deep breath and then out. He closed his eyes and rubbed them with his thumb and forefinger. Once Starkwind gets back to us, we'll go from there. Off into the wild blue yonder, the sea duck buzzed off over the horizon into an uncertain future.
I make this announcement. I understand I am putting myself at great personal risk,
Continued Farron, nearing the crescendo of his speech,
both from terrorists like Dewey Duck and from common criminals. As the inheritor of Scrooge McDuck's fortune, I also inherit the risks and intrigues associated with it. I can only hope I can be up to the challenge. But to ensure my own safety, and to speed along the hunt for ruthless criminals responsible for the atrocity at Duckburg, I have taken steps.
Farron began to step away from the podium as he restopped the center stage left.
I am pleased to announce the former bodyguard of Scrooge McDuck himself, and legendary hero in its own right. My hero and yours, Gizmo Duck.
With the sound of a roving engine, the silver-armored duck rolled out onto the stage, waving his camera's flash, lighting his instruments, and the crowd whispered and roared and cheered, drowning out all sound coming into his mechanical ears. Bum bum bum.